Hello and welcome to another Pilates session. We're going to start today by warming up on all fours. So let's come and join me now. We're going to start off with our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath your hips. All right, now I want you to draw your shoulder blades into a soft V into the base of your spine, so that the back of the neck is nice and long, and it's kind of like the crown of the head is pushing the head out of the shoulders, yeah? So like popping it out. So we've got a nice long back of the neck. We're pulling our belly in a good 20% as we breathe into the rib cage here. And I want you to think about these muscles underneath your armpits, the latissimus dorsi muscles, and the serratus anterior, where we're lifting up through those muscles as well, okay, rather than sinking. Those arms should not bend, all right? Now keep those shoulder blades pulled back, belly in. We're going to take a deep inhale. On your exhale, I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath your bottom, pull your belly in a little bit more now, and round that lower back, then the middle, then the upper, and then stretch the back of your neck by reaching your nose to your belly. Keep your shoulders back away from the ears to get the stretch. Now take a deep inhale and flick your tailbone up to the ceiling. Dip the lower spine, squeeze the blades back and look up. And on your exhale, we go again. We start with the tailbone, we tuck it under. Now pull that belly in, there's a pelvic tilt. Lower back rounds, the middle back, upper back, and stretch the back of the neck. Shoulders back. And inhale to a neutral spine, which is in between those 2 points. Now we're going to inhale, you take your right arm up to the ceiling. Now try and get that right shoulder over the left. Shoulders back. Keep the hips facing down. And exhale, now we're going to stretch the back of that shoulder. So we drop the head and try and get the back of that right shoulder onto the mat a little bit more. So we're getting a little bit more of a stretch in the back of that shoulder into the rotator cuff muscles. We take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, push into your left armpit muscle to bring you back up to the start position. Let's do the left arm. We take that left arm up. Now push into the right, through the armpit muscle, yeah, and try and stack those shoulders one on top of each other. Shoulders back. And exhale through the needle, drop the head, let the bottom rise, and try and get more rotation in that thoracic spine. And on your exhale, this muscle and your abs to pull you up. So there's no pressure on that elbow or wrist joint at all. We're going to pull the belly button in a bit more now. Think about those horizontal sheath of fibers wrapping around your spine. You're going to pull that belly button in. You're going to use those armpit muscles together now to lift both knees 1 millimeter off the floor. Now draw the shoulder blades down the spine, but keep looking slightly ahead of the hands. Inhale to lower. Now option, just do one knee at a time. Keep the toes relaxed and just draw those blades back. That belly should be working, your armpits are working, you're squeezing your butt cheeks together, your glutes, yeah, and release. Think about that pelvic floor muscle now. So ladies, hold your P, mid-flow. Gentlemen, I see water coming up those legs and you're lifting up those regions, yeah? And we're going to lift that pelvic floor now, and I want you to bring the ribs down towards the hip bones. Pull the ribs down to the hips and lift up the pelvic floor. Draw the blades back and lift those knees. Yeah, see if you can hold it for a couple of breaths now. We're not working into the arms here. This is abs. This is armpit muscles. This is pelvic floor lifting. Squeeze your butt. Feel all the muscles working. Look slightly ahead of the hands. Don't drop the head. The upper back should be straight. And release. Let's come into our child's pose. Hands forward. Drop the forehead to the floor. The crown of the head is driving away from that tailbone, so lengthen. Don't tuck the chin under. Now from here, we're going to come into a tricep press up, cat stretch. We inhale, keep low. This is spine extension. We're going to take the nose to the mat. And we're taking that nose down while the bottom lifts up. Now, once we get to our wrists, or even our thumbs if you want to go a bit further, you keep the elbows in and you push up with those triceps. Exhale, tuck the tail under, round the spine by pulling your belly up and backwards into your child's pose. Breathing in, forward. Now keep those elbows locked in, the forearms are on the floor. Further forward you go, the more of a tricep press up you're going to get, rounding through the spine. Let's do that one more time, breathing in. Exhale to round through the spine. Beautiful. Okay, let's bring ourselves up. Give those wrists a little rotation if you need to. We're now going to come into 4-point kneel swim. Okay, so make sure those wrists are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips, the shoulders are back into that shoulder stabilization. Looking slightly ahead of the hands. We're going to inhale, take left finger, right toe away from the midline. Now keep that right hip facing down. We're going to exhale, and I want you to lengthen, stretching the left fingertips away from your right toe. Now, there's a tray of drinks on your back, so make sure that you're not twisting, yeah? And you driving, you're pulling the right toes. If someone's pulled your leg and they're pulling you back, at the same time, someone's got hold of your wrist and they're pulling you forward. You're pulling your belly in and making sure the middle of your body stays strong. So squeeze your butt, zip up the pelvic floor and pull your belly in. Keep lifting up through your right armpit muscle. Inhale, lower. Exhale, pull back in. Now, option here, if you've got any problems with your wrist, you can always roll the mat over, or if you need to, just keep the hands on the floor, okay, and just do the leg. Okay, let's try the other side. So right fingertips, left toe. Stay here for a moment, draw the shoulders back, get the right posture here. Concentrate before you exhale and you lengthen. There's no point rushing Pilates. Yeah, common mistake is to rush everything. And what we're trying to do is talk to our bodies, be mindful, concentrate. What is working for you? What's working here? It should be the abs, it should be your left armpit muscle. Yeah, your left glute is firing crazy because you're stretching out the opposing muscle group, the hip flexor. Okay, so keep that position. Are your hips equal, facing down? Is there a tray of drinks still on your back, or have you crushed them over to one side? Draw the shoulders back, inhale, lower, exhale, back in. Beautiful. So you can either, if you want to, just stay with that and hold it for a couple of breaths. Otherwise, we're going to bring some movement in now. Keep the focus here. We're going to have to really concentrate on this one. Left fingertips, right toe. We exhale to lengthen. Shoulders back. Remember that shoulder stabilization. Now we inhale, tap. And we exhale to lengthen. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lengthen. So we're not kind of lifting, there is a lift element, but it's more about length. So if you really focus on pull of the leg, stretch of the fingertips, keeping both shoulders in line. Breathing into the nose and out through the mouth. I think we've done 6, we've got a couple more to go, and 7. And 8. Now hold this position, stretch. If you can, flex that heel. Flex the heel and keep the knee high. Now, there's a wine glass on the sole of your foot, so lift up, 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 up. Now, option here, take that left hand to the floor. Otherwise, we stay here. See if you can collect that foot with your hand. Now, we look up, and we're pushing the foot into the hand. Push the foot so your shoulder is pushing back on your left side. And keep lifting up to your right armpit. Can you lift that knee higher? And extend. Extend. Pull. Lower. And come back in. Ooh, challenging. Just take a moment here. Give those wrists a little movement around if you need to. Let's do the other side. So, right fingertips, left toe. We slide out. We hold the position. Let's make sure that pelvis is nice and level first before we exhale. So from here, we inhale, lower. We exhale, extend. Breathing into the nose, out through the mouth. Now keep that belt around your waist. Keep that left hip facing down. Your right shoulder back. Left armpit muscle is really having to work here, so make sure it's working rather than the neck and the shoulders or the lower back. Your left bottom cheek is firing. And I think we've done 6. We're going to do a couple more. Is that tray still on your back? We don't want to move any other part of the body. This is your 8th one, and we hold it here. Option, drop the right hand. Otherwise, flex that heel. Now, we're lifting the heel and knee up. 6, yeah? 5, 4, 3. Keep the left hip facing down. We don't want any rotation of the hips. See if you can take the foot round Yeah, throw the hand round and collect the foot. Now push the foot into the hand back. So your right shoulder now is pushing back, getting a nice stretch in the front of that right shoulder. Look up. Keep the belly in, lift a bit higher. Extend, pull, lower, and come back into your child's pose. Great. Give those wrists a little bit of rotation. Both directions. And bring ourselves back up. Lovely, well done. So we're now going to come onto our fronts. So when you're ready, bring those legs out in front of you. Now if you need to, bend the knees. Okay, you've got tight hamstrings. Otherwise, we're going to straighten the legs. Option, just do one knee and just switch after a little while, yes? Just make sure that both hamstrings are getting a nice stretch in. Now we're going to bring the arms out in front of us and keep lifting up through your abdominals, yeah, lifting up through your spine. I want an L shape with the body. I don't want this. So bend the knees with a straight spine if you need to. Shoulders back into those back pockets. Okay, from here, we're going to breathe in. I'm going to take your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale back and through. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's do one more. Exhale, let's do the other side. Now you're not moving any other part of the body. So it's a circle and we're not rotating at any other place, yeah? It's just the shoulder joint. Now from this position, we're going to exhale over the beach ball. We're going to pull the belly button in and the hips. And we're going to take them backwards and the shoulders and the crown of the head is going forwards. And now it's our capital C shape in the spine. Now we inhale to restack. And now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone underneath the bottom and go down to a point of tension. Now the ribs pull down to the hip bones. We lift up that pelvic floor. Your lower back should be rounded, but your chest remains open. The shoulders are down. Now keep that working here, the abdominals. Keep that lower back rounded. Option, bend the knees and put your hands behind your legs. We're going to inhale, take the right arm up and repeat, 3 on each side. Breathing into the nose and rib cage, exhale through the mouth. Now we're trying to get a lovely big openness of that shoulder, and it's going to be more challenging now because you can't rely on working the shoulders here, the neck and shoulders. It's got to be here. Breathing in. Now take a deep inhale into your rib cage, exhale, rounding through the spine into your capital C. Shoulders back away from those ears. Hands are irrelevant really. Yeah, and restack that spine into your L shape. Well done. So, having just done your arm movements, you should feel a lot more relaxed and flexible in those shoulders. And we're going to take it all the way down to the floor now. So, just roll the shoulders back into those back pockets, bring those arms down in front of us. We'll take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, tuck the tail under, and let's round through that spine. Bring your ribs to your hips. And slowly come down to the floor, take your arms over your head, point your toes, and stretch. Bring your arms down by your side and flex your heels. Now we're going to bring our legs up to tabletop. So option 1, just take one leg up and we'll keep one leg on the floor. But remember that imprint. We bring the ribs down towards our hip bones. So bring your ribs to your hips and pull your belly in and bring both legs up. Hands behind the head. Option, take your head and shoulders to the floor if you need to. And just work the lower abdominals. Otherwise, when we lift the head and shoulders, we're working the upper abdominals as well. All right, we're going to drive both legs out, or just one leg out at an angle, and we pull the belly button in to bring the legs back in. Now flex the heels and push. And exhale to pull in with those abs. Remember that cable from the knee to the belly, the drawbridge. And we pull in from the lever, the cable here, the pulley. Breathing in. Now the lower the legs go, the more challenging on that lower abdominal area. But if you feel your lower back popping, then go higher for me. Okay, let's do a couple more. We breathe in. We exhale. Now option, you can always breathe out. And inhale, your choice. Bring your knees into your chest. Okay, so if that felt quite comfortable, you just come up a little bit higher with your head and shoulders, or take the legs a little bit lower. And the opposite is true. If it was challenging, just try the one leg, or keep the head and shoulders on the floor. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the head and shoulders, off the floor, and I want you to wrap your hands around your shins. We're going to take the right leg out and take the right arm overhead. So we're getting that stretch now in that shoulder. Now lift it a little bit higher. I want you can go lower with the leg. You're really going to feel that in your abs here, yeah, the lower abdominals. We exhale to come back in, and let's repeat that same side. Breathing in, breathing out. Now squeeze your throat muscle. Option, head and shoulders can be on the floor. Exhaling. Let's do one more on this side. Breathing in, stretch the fingertip away from the toe. Let's do the other side. We breathe it in. Now imagine that 4-point kneel again, but it's the same arm and leg this time. Breathing in, stretch, and exhale. The head and shoulders don't drop. Look down to squeeze your throat muscle. Yeah. And one more time. You breathe in, stretch, and exhale in, and come down to the floor. Now, it's a boat effect with your body. When we're doing this, there's a boat, yeah, and you've got water in the belly, and we don't want it to pop, so you've got to keep pulling down into that base of the boat, yeah? And then you will make sure that the abs are doing the work, and your lower back must be lengthened into the mat, okay? So, double leg stretch looks like this. If you haven't done it before, we're going to do 8 to 10 repetitions. Now, option 1, just stick to the single leg, yeah? If you're new or inexperienced or just wanting an easier workout today. Otherwise, you place both hands around the soles of the feet. Now, look down and keep their head and shoulders still. Yeah, we don't lower. We inhale, take the arms around to the ears. We exhale in. Now squeeze your inner thighs together and wrap your thigh muscles around your bones. Breathing in, breathing out. Now higher is easier, yeah? Otherwise lower is more challenging. Let's do 5 more or just 3 more, whatever feels right for you today. Inhale, exhale, and squeeze your throat muscle. Look down, exhale. Breathing in, point the toes now, exhale, scoop. 1 more, exhale, lift, and bring their head and shoulders to the floor. And take those legs away from you. And relax. Now we're going to do 1 more exercise on the rectus abdominis, and this will be the 100. So option, just keep 1 leg off the floor into our tabletop. And at 5 breaths, you will change the leg, and I'll tell you when. Option 2, which is more like the intermediate, we're going to have those legs out in front of us. Yeah, coffee table underneath those calves so they don't drop. And option 3, more advanced, set the legs out at an angle. The lower, the more challenging, but that lower back must not pop up. We're going to do the arm movement first. So come into the position. I want you to bring the arms out in front of you, and you're going to pulse down. But this is from the shoulder joint. It's our triceps we're working here that we worked earlier. Yeah, we push in, push down. Yeah, and it's from the shoulder. I don't want any of this, yeah? It's from the shoulder. That's the movement, all right? So we're going to do 10 breaths in total. All right, so find the position that's right for you. Bring your chin to your chest, your ribs to your hips, legs and tabletop if you want to, otherwise extend. Arms by the side, the higher, the more challenging. We breathe in and we exhale. And 2 out of 10. Exhale, now squeeze your inner thighs together and inhale for 3. And exhale for 3. Inhale for 4, now that belly should be burning. Exhale for 4. Option, go high with the legs, inhale for 5, and exhale for 5. Now if you've got 1 leg, change now into 6. Change the legs if you're doing 1 leg. Exhale for 6. 7. Exhale, keep that belly in, we're not breathing to the belly. Inhale for 8. Keep the arms strong and long. Exhale for 8. We've got 2 more breaths, so you go low with the legs. 9. Exhale, come on, squeeze those inner thighs, work shoulders down. 10th one, exhale. And bring those knees in. Oh dear, that was a good burn there. Good burn. Okay, let's come onto our side. If you can come onto your side for me, and we're going to take the arm out in front of us. And you can put your hand around your head, or you're going to extend the arm out completely. I want to have your shoulder in line with your hips. So use your mat as a guide so that you're not kinking forward. And we're going to bring the legs forward at an angle from the hip joint. Okay, belly in slightly. I want you to lift that top leg just to hip height, and we're going to come into an external rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, open up at the hip, and we inhale, bring the knee back to towards me. Exhale, 2. And it's a little movement. We're trying to work from the hip joint here. Exhale, 3. And 4. Getting a nice rotation. Yeah, of going outwards. So if you put your hand around this area, you'll feel it working when you rotate. So don't just move from the ankle joint or the knee. It's got to be from the femur, the top of the leg. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders. We're just going up and forward. Don't go down. That's what we tend to do more often. Let's do 3 more. And that outer thigh now should be beginning to work here, the abductor. Let's do 1 more. Keep the belly slightly in. Now we bring the heel down in front of us. And I'm thinking about inner thigh. We go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lift the leg up and we take the toe behind and we pull. And it's not about going back, it's more about length. Point the toe away from the groin. Now this is your outer thigh. 5 taps and come forward now. Up and forward for 4. Inner thigh. 2, 3, 4. Lift up and point the toe back for 4, 3. Pull. Don't worry about going as far back as the other leg. It's just slightly ahead of the toe, the bottom leg. 3 taps now, and back for 3 taps. And keep the hips stacked. We don't want to move. We're coming forward for 2 now. 2, 1. Lift up and point the toe for 2, 1. Let's go forward for 1. Up and 1. And let's do 10 singles to finish. We're going heel, up and toe. Up and heel. Up and toe. We're trying to go as high as we can with that leg, but don't rock the hips. Breathe. We've got 5 more to the finish. Up and toe. Up and heel. Up and toe. So think inner thigh on heel, think outer thigh on toe. Try not to move those hips. We've got 2 more. Lift up and heel. Slow it down. Up and heel. Last one. Up and toe. And take that leg down. Good. Okay. So let's bring ourselves up and let's go over to the other side. So you should have felt that in your outer thigh, and that is the whole point of the exercise, is that we're trying to get more external rotation, especially if you cross your legs a lot. This is for you, okay? Try and keep in that straight line with your shoulder and hip and bring the legs forward, okay? Nice and relaxed in the neck and shoulders. Keep the belly slightly pulled in so your belly's off the mat. I want to lift that top leg up just to hip height. Push into that bottom leg to keep yourself balanced, or put your hand down if you need to. Open. And bring back to the center. Open and back. Feel it working here. The whole point of the bottom, its purpose is rotation, external rotation. That's the point of the glutes. They're there to allow you to abduct the leg. External rotation. So if you cross your legs a lot, you may find that your bottom's not that strong. Yeah. Nice and relaxed in the neck and the shoulders. Let's do a couple more. Keep the hips stacked. There's a metal rod going down your hips so you can't move them. Now, we bring the heel forward and we tap for 5. Inner thigh, drag the heel away from your groin. 2 and 1. Now lift up and point the toe and pull. Now we're pointing the toe away from your bottom. And forward for 4. 4, 3, 2. Now relax your neck and shoulders. Don't put any pressure there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come forward now for 3, 2, 1. And up and back for 3, 2, 1. Let's go up and forward for 2, 1. Up and 2, 1. Up and forward for 1. Now, we don't want to rush it. Heel, up and toe, and think about what you're doing. Hamstring is stretching, and then your hip flexor, and 4. And you may find one side is easier or harder than the other. Yeah, so just be aware of that. This is much harder for me, this side. Yeah, so it just shows that we're really in balance however much we try, and that's the whole point. It's a journey. A journey. Let's do another 3. I think we've got 3 more. Slow it down if you feel yourself losing the control. Let's do 1 more. Up and toe, up and heel, and down we come. Pat that out. Well done, everybody. Okay, so let's now come on to our fronts. So having done the 100, we're now going to go the other way. So this is where we do the triceps again, but we're going upwards. And the whole point of this is now to recorrect that rounded shoulderedness. Okay, so the head goes on the floor and our hands go behind us. Before we start, actually, we'll just do the legs, warming up those. So remember how we tuck the tailbone underneath the bottom when we pull our belly in to make sure that the bottom and the abs are doing the work and not the lower back. So on our exhale, we're just going to drive that right toe away. We pull, just like we did for the 4-point swim, and we inhale, release. Let's do the same with the left. Now stretch, pull it. Someone's got hold of your foot and they're pulling you back. Inhale, lower. So think about length. Pull and release, and the left. Now let's see if we can do both. Now tuck your tail under, pull your belly button in towards your spine, zip up your pelvic floor. Yeah, make sure that belly's in. And release. Yeah, let's do that again. Stretch. Both. Someone's got hold of both feet now, and they're pulling them back. Yeah. And release. Back of the knees must stay straight. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look down and we're going to high five the ceiling. We're going to go for 10 and keep everything on the floor apart from the arms. So we're just pulsing up from the shoulder, not from the elbow or wrist. Let's do a couple more. Now let's lift the head and shoulders off the floor. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together and pull them down your spine. Let's do a couple more. Now see if you can drive the toes away. Option just 1 leg. Yeah. Otherwise the crown of the head is driving forward, okay, away from your toes. Let's do another few more. Now let's interlace the fingers, draw the shoulder blades down the spine, lift the chest, push it open a bit more. Yeah, and lift a bit higher. Can you pull the arms higher now? Belly in and release. Just tap those. Bring those hips down to the floor. Beautiful, well done. Let's bring the hands around and bring the hands in line with our shoulders. We're going to inhale, pull the belly in, draw the shoulders back, and just push the hands into the floor. Now this is your armpit muscles we're working again. We're putting our belly in and we're putting our shoulders back. Exhale, drive your toes away. Inhale, push into the hands, drop your shoulders. Pull the belly in, push forward with your collarbone, but pull your shoulders back. Exhale, drive your toes away. Swan dive. Breathing in, go a bit higher if you want to, but keep that belly in. Tuck the tail under. Exhale. So we're getting a nice boat movement again, and we're strengthening the back of the body. Slow it down if you prefer. Pull those legs. Inhale, push forward, shoulders back. Armpit muscles working. Exhale. Option, just keep low. Just keep low. And release. Hips from side to side. Let's push our hands underneath our shoulders. Bring ourselves back to our child's pose. Drop the forehead to the floor. And let's come onto our bottom again. We're just going to stretch out those abductors that we worked earlier. So I'd like you to take both legs over to your right as you look over to your left. Now you're going to extend that top leg and flex the heel. And I want you to kick, got a nice vision here of my sole of my foot, sorry about that. Kick that foot in towards your right hand as you look in the opposite direction. And you're lengthening from the heel all the way to the bottom. So drive the heel away from your bottom and kick a bit more forward. Keep the leg low. Keep that left shoulder on the floor. And bend the knees, come back to the center. Let's go over to the other side. Enjoy the spine stretch first. So you're getting a nice stretch down the side of the body. And then we extend the leg again and kick that heel actively away from the bottom. Kick it in towards your left hand as you look in the opposite direction. Focus on length. Keep breathing into the ribs, let the ground come to collect you. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, open the chest, and bend the knee. Exhale back into the center. Beautiful, well done. Come onto your side and bring yourself back up to a seated position and just roll those shoulders back into those back pockets. Well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Hopefully you feel a bit more opened up in that chest, all right? And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.